Welcome everyone to the new episode, which is episode 3. And today we have one of the very best architects in London, which is Mr. Jeremy Foster from Foster Architects. And we welcome him today on this episode to discuss about his background, how he started, how it's about architecture and everything. So can I say welcome to Mr. Jeremy?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We will start with some questions if that's all right.
Yes.
What made you want to become an architect, and has that motivation changed over the time?
Uh, yes. What made me? Well, actually, I didn't want to become an architect to start with. I wanted to be Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Uh, I think I saw The Big Boss when I was a kid, and once I'd realised I wasn't going to become a martial arts legend, then I settled for becoming an architect. Uh,
all right.
but yeah, making spaces and making big stuff in towns and cities seemed like a way forward. So yeah, I chose to do that.
That's good. Is anything motivated to change it over the time?
Yeah, well, I guess I used to want to do and did do bigger things. So worked on towers, worked on city blocks.
All right.
And then as I've set up my own practice, I've worked on smaller projects, smaller interventions, and a lot of residential, whereas I used to do a lot of commercial. So yeah, over time it's got smaller and more personal. Uh, and yeah, my client base is kind of mainly based in London now. So
That's good. What's it's one of your proudest moments as an architect, and what is made special?
um, the two buildings I worked on with Eric Parry were definitely the highlights. So I was with those from kind of pretty much conception to completion. So there was New Bond Street and one gateway in Piccadilly for the Crown Estate. So these were big projects. They went on, 2-3 year builds, £50 million budgets, huge budgets, and huge project team. And yeah, they were the proudest moment, I think. Working on those and finishing those and seeing them, they're still there and they'll be there for probably another 50 years.
Yes. Yeah, that's very good actually. Another question is, what does a successful project look like for you?
Success. Well, I think if the client's happy, then it's got to be qualified as a success. Um, if it's, I mean, it's the old adage, on time, on budget.
Yes.
That's another success. But yeah, basically, if everyone can finish the project and not fall out, and there aren't legal actions, then it's also a success.
Yeah. It-
But yeah, if there's a good result and the client's happy, then I'm happy.
Right. That's great because it's very important the clients to be happy on the end.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah.
that's actually the target actually when we're doing the project and just to go smoothly everything. And
Yeah, well, it's the biggest financial commitment they'll probably ever make. So if they can get to the end of it and they're pleased they've done it, then
yeah,
it's a good result all round.
and that's a satisfaction for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you look at a set of drawings, what do you look for first as a contractor?
Well, for me as a contractor, when I look at the set of drawings first, I need to visualize what's the end product.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at drawings, because some just on the tender process, just the drawings. We don't have maybe the 3D or just to visualize. So I have from the drawings, I have to figure out what it is. So that's what I'm saying. How is going to be the end product before we start the job? So when I'm looking at the drawings, that's what's my first thing. How it's going to look, how it's going to look all the elevations, how it's going to look everything, so I can visualize everything before I hand it over to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I have any questions about elevation, then just to come to the architect
Yeah.
or to the client or just to make decisions. But yeah, when I'm looking at the drawings, that's the first thing I see. I'm just trying to visualize and find actually the end product to be as the client wanted or the architect design it.
Yeah.
So that's for me the most important part, to visualize from the beginning how is going to be the end product, because by having that in my head, then I know exactly how to coordinate my team,
Mm.
and what questions to come to the client or the architect when it is.
Okay.
But that's for me the most important part, to have the vision how the final product is going to look.
Right. And what do you wish architects considered when designing the build phase?
All the time I have with my team, actually, it's we don't have in all the drawings. With your drawings, actually, we have measurements,
Mm. Ah.
but with many architects,
Mm.
they don't put measurements on the drawings.
What the setting out and
Yeah, but
just heights and widths and things.
it's just very minimum.
Yeah.
What's gonna be good actually to get for us is to have more details on that, more measurements on it, which I know is not easy to do it, because once you put it there, some of the clients will expect actually to be that measurements, and on sites is never gonna be the same.
Yeah.
It's never gonna, you can't do it exactly as per the drawing sometimes. It's just along the way. Sometimes it's just, that's 50 mil, but you find some clients actually which will look for that 50 mil. Why it's not there?
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it's um, just to consider actually to have more details actually onto the dimension in a way.
Yes.
Maybe not exactly dimension, but just to guide you more onto the dimension of what is going to be exactly
Yeah.
finished. Because yes, in your drawings all the time when we discuss, all the time when we do projects together, you send me straight away if I ask anything. But with some architects, they are not involved,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Okay.
then the client don't know exactly what they want. It's hard actually to get an agreement what dimension is going to be there.
And then you're guessing.
And sometimes I'm guessing, or I'm taking and just ruling from the drawings. But sometimes it's just the
Yeah.
drawings are not to the right scale. I can't scale it in a way. And if I'm going back with the questions and it's taking a week to get back the answer, it's just delaying the whole job. So that's for me. With some of the architects we work,
Mm.
we'll say more actually into more details onto the beginning design, just more dimension in a way.
It is very important. I mean, a lot of the all the projects I work on now have a measured survey at the outset,
Yeah,
which does make it a lot easier to add dimensions. But then
yeah.
there are still unexpected things on site, which means they change.
No, of course, of course, of course.
But it's good to keep track of, especially if you want an accurate measure of the area as you're going along,
Yeah.
what you're gaining or losing, or
Yeah, because no, it's just if you have a kitchen which has been ordered it actually off plan to say,
yeah,
you don't have any survey. Yes, you have to go precise with that.
yeah,
But yes, you're gonna have the toilet which is 50 mil or whatever.
yeah,
But it just needs to know from the beginning
yeah.
that's gonna work there. Because it has happened to me in the past. We had one has been surveyed. They take in consideration like it's 300 mil wall,
Mm-hmm.
and the wall was 200. So
Yeah,
actually, we get bigger the room.
yeah,
And when the kitchen had been installed, it say, "Oh, but we have a gap there." But that gap was because the wall was actually bigger,
yeah.
and no one knew about that wall is bigger.
Right.
So that's why it just you can find along the way dimension and everything, but it just will be good on the beginning
Yeah.
to have more details on that side.
Okay.
Not saying about yours.
No. We'll
Because
touch on that later, though. No, it's a good point. It's a good point.
yeah. Um, can I ask you a question about what do you think makes a successful partnership between an architect and a contractor?
Ah, yes. I think I made some notes here. I think communication is obviously a key one. And that's not amount of communication, because I know we have, WhatsApp groups, texts, phone
Yep.
calls, emails. You can communicate a lot, but I think it's just having a timely and economic amount of communication. Um, and an element of trust, obviously, that, the contractor, CR are going to follow the design closely, and that client changes or client concerns are dealt with
Yeah.
along the way. Um, yeah, and I mean, it's a journey. We all start it together as a team, and hopefully we complete it together as a team.
Yeah.
And there are ups and downs along the way, but as long as we can kind of communicate and manage any
Yeah.
unexpected, usually changes or discoveries, or I don't know, curveballs. You just can't predict how a project's going to change along its kind of
Yeah.
uh,
It's always
trajectory.
challenges.
Yeah, there's always challenges, and it's how we communicate with that as a construction team, as architect and contractor,
Yeah.
and not stress the client out too much.
Yeah, because that's all the time I'm saying, the contractor actually and the architect should take all the pressure and the stress from the client all the time, right?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely an advocate of
Yeah,
that kind of team dynamic as well. So
and not to work against each other.
no,
And I had a friend which is in the contractor as well, which is working with the architect, start the project, but they didn't work before.
yeah,
So the architect wasn't flexible at all, just to communicate. He's not flexible as well.
yeah, yeah,
So it's just against each other. You can't deliver a job like this.
no,
It's not going to work. So it's just you need to be on the same way with the architect and the contractor. Same way, same path,
yeah,
and to deliver the project and find actually ways to get the stress away and deliver the project.
definitely.
So
So yeah,
it's not if you work against each other, no, it's not going to work. Never.
yeah, I think if you set out and you're in conflict or it's feudal, it's not going to work.
No.
There's just going to be friction, and you're going to waste time and energy, and the output won't be as successful.
Yeah.
It's got to be collaborative.
We work together actually in multiple projects now.
It has been a few, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel our working relationship has evolved for over the time?
I'd say it's improved. I mean, obviously, I've seen CR go from strength to strength. So you're doing bigger, multiple projects now. It's not just the construction arm. You've got development, investment, joinery. These are all things I think that enhance your delivery. So, um, yeah, no, I think it's definitely, and as you've expanded, you've got people now who are more au fait with construction contracts, with the tendering process. So all those things just go a lot smoother, and increase your chances of winning and delivering that project. So yeah,
Thank
hats
you for
off,
that.
hats off.
I'm working hard on that to improve actually every day our service.
Mm.
It's not easy sometimes because I need to rely some time on people,
Yeah,
and it's taking time actually to train the people to work the way I work and the way I'm treating all the clients and everything. And it's not easy sometimes, but I know it's gonna take time, and I know I can deliver the best service on it.
yeah,
And if all other arms I'm doing actually onto the side, just joinery development, everything. I want actually to create a group of companies which I'm creating and I'm working on it to offer the best service on everything what it's about properties. So this is just 25% from what I want to do now.
wow, okay.
So I got another companies to open and I want another services to offer.
Watch this space then.
Oh yes. But yeah, so for me, it's just very important to offer the best service to the clients and just to be, to work closely with you as an architect and with the clients as well. Because for us, it's very important to, once you finish the project, to don't get callbacks from the clients for issues,
Yes,
is to get callbacks for more work
yeah,
and to get recommended.
definitely.
So that's what I'm saying to my team every day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want issues. We don't want issues.
No
We just want to solve the problems and move on.
referrals.
Yes, because that's the best way actually to move on. What role does an architect play once the build begin, and why is it important to stay involved on the project?
So, I mean, on all my projects, I try to stay on as contract administrator throughout the build, and I think that's crucial because I can basically deliver the design, monitor it, and ensure that that's what's being constructed on site to the best of it, and obviously adapting anything that's not working for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Usually down to, I don't know, again, possibly client changes later on or site conditions that are discovered, that weren't obvious in the survey. Um, and yeah, I think that's just crucial. And it's the element of trust is already built up there with contractor and client. So it seems natural to see that through to the end. And I've got quite a rigorous process, as you know,
yeah,
with the valuations and the contract admin, and it's the Reba contract actually, which is quite good. It's quite accessible.
yeah,
It doesn't kind of totally blow a client's mind if they're not into building contracts, as the
yeah,
JCC might. And it's kind of manageable, and I think it's fair. It's not. There is a bit of consumer bias there, which is naturally in a client of that nature, a contract of that nature, but it's not completely impractical, and I think it's fair to the contractor and the
yeah,
client. And it gets the outcome, and we get through the defects period, the practical certificates, So yeah, ideally I stay involved, but that's not always the case. Sometimes I hand over a set of drawings and the client and the contractor will kind of just go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the contractor will do their own valuations and there won't be a third party then monitoring what work has been complete or to the extent to which it's been complete.
Yeah.
Which is fine, that's another way of doing it. But
The best way, actually, in a way to do it, it's actually to still keep the architect involved,
mm,
and that's I'll prefer all the time.
okay,
And the reason it is to keep the architect involved, it's a safety net for both the clients
yeah,
and the contractor, because you as an architect have been from the beginning with the client, you know what they want. Yes, you handed over a tender and having handed over drawings, which has to be picked up by the contractor. But if the architect is staying,
mm,
you know, into the air, then it'll be easy to deliver their project, because along the way, if you find, like I said earlier, some not issues to say, but if you know stops in a way, oh, but that's not exactly as per the drawings,
yeah,
then you are involved. We can take quickly decisions,
yeah,
and it's
exactly, yeah,
easier for you to explain to the client why that can be possible as per the original drawings.
yeah,
And I'm saying that like a safety net, because all the time, even if we send a valuation from our side, then it's been checked and approved by you,
mm-hmm,
because it's been done as per the drawings
yeah,
and has been agreed on the schedule.
yeah,
Which that's for me, it's better sometime, and to have the architect involved, because it's a lot easier. He's got the trust first from the client,
yes.
and if the trust is there already, then for me to go as a contract to the client is to get another trust in there. But because you know exactly what you did drawings and what's going to be delivered, then it's very easy to deliver it in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, my position is I'm here to help. So any questions on the drawings,
Yeah.
uh, you know, definitely can elucidate or expand on what that should have been or why that isn't particularly working. But
Yeah, and sometimes even as me as a contractor or my team is going to say to the clients, yeah, but this way I think is going to be better to do this way.
yeah,
If the architect is involved, the client will go to ask another opinion to the architect. Do you think this is going to be all right? And then
definitely.
it's just the confirmation on that. So it's actually getting assurance. Yes, it's going to be done, and it's done as per the drawings. But if this can be done as per the drawings, then you know the way to do it and the way to deliver it, and just assure the client they're going to get a product they want.
Yeah, definitely. Additional services, value engineering,
Yeah,
design changes, design options. It's
yeah.
always possible.
Have you ever had a completely had to completely rethink the design
Mm.
because of the practical change on site?
Almost. I mean, that normally, everything is designed and coordinated, so you don't have any shocks on site, and it
Yeah.
can be a smooth build. Obviously, as we know, that's not always the case, and there's always something that throws a spanner in the works. I guess on two particular projects, I had to kind of change my approach. There was one where there was a basement, and I assumed or thought it would be best if the client developed that basement as part of their
Yeah.
project, and then it became apparent sort of later on they didn't want to, so we ended up filling it in pretty much with quite a lot of concrete. So it was quite a deep basement, and it no longer is. Anyway,
So it's been dug first, the basement.
it was an existing,
Oh, right.
so it just basically needed a little bit more digging and making good, and it would have been, yeah. Anyway, but they didn't want it. They didn't need it. They didn't want it. So
Yeah.
that happened, and then the other one was our favourite is obviously party wall matters. So a party wall award wasn't put in place, a project started, and for whatever reason, everybody had thought the party wall award was in place.
All right. But actually wasn't.
So everything ground to a halt, and we tried to kind of, amend structural designs to kind of minimize how long we were waiting for this award to happen. Anyway, it did get done in the end. There was a rather complicated beam going into a chimney, which you should never do unless you absolutely have to. And it all got done, but it was quite stressful. And it could have just been avoided, I think. But that was kind of another sanity check. Always make sure, yeah, if you can, party wall awards are in place before you start. Never
Yeah.
never assume they're gonna arrive when they say they are.
Yeah, we had a few projects with the same thing. We started the project when the party agreement wasn't in place,
Mm.
and we had to delay the job 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, not the easy one when you're on the project and actually do the foundations, and you have to stop because of the party wall.
Yeah, no, it is, it's quite critical, and it can, yeah, slow things down and create delays. So what's been the most challenging project we've worked on together? And how did we get through it?
Most challenging. Did we had any challenge? Most challenging. Yeah, we had challenges because we like them. What was the most challenging?
Yeah, you could be honest.
Um, I don't think no, it was anything challenging. But I like challenges.
It's all relative. Well, yeah, we
Yeah,
we both like challenges.
I like challenges. No, I can't say. Did we had anything challenging? Maybe we can say the last project we did together
Yeah,
was a bit challenging on that.
yeah,
But
had its moments.
yes, at
Uh,
this moment, yeah.
I don't know. It seemed to.
But
I mean, it went fairly smoothly.
but it was monthly, yeah. It's just But for me, if I have a challenge,
Yeah,
I love it
good.
because that's make me to run more into it and make me more motivated.
Yeah,
And I love challenges.
I think you learn from them.
Oh yes, yes, because even if you make a mistake from the challenges, then you learn from it. Because if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn.
Mm.
But for me, challenges, it's something I love it, and I'm looking for them every day.
Okay.
Uh, well, even sometimes I'm saying to some architect designers, I'm saying, all right,
Yeah.
what's the challenges design? Actually, 2 days ago, I get a message from a designer, and she sends to me and she say, Costel, look at this bathroom, it's beautiful. Can we do it? And I say, yeah, design it for next time. And I know it's going to be challenging to deliver that
Okay.
bathroom, but every challenge is just bringing new rewards actually. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love challenges, and I think we didn't have many challenges on the project. We work together.
No.
No,
Okay. Well,
we make it to be smooth.
yeah.
So it's no challenges because we communicate together a lot,
Yeah.
and it's not no challenges on that one.
Good. Well, and what's the biggest lesson you think you've learned from a project that didn't go to plan?
Oh, there's many lessons actually learned when not
Mm.
going to plan. Um,
What was the one you think I'm not going to do that way next time?
that's a tricky one because it's just I'm thinking all the time was there, and for me it's hard to find it in a way because if I'm taking the challenges as lessons, then it's um, the bigger lesson to say. I took it actually into the development side, not to start the project
Mm.
till you have everything in place.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah, so I've been rushing to start a project before everything was in place, and I was hitting actually the ground completely because I had the neighbors, I had
Mm.
the council, and it's been a bit challenging, that one, but I get over it. I learned many lessons through it. But yeah, I think that's all. Just to make sure all the time you have all the details before you start.
Yes.
And onto the project you're doing for the clients. For me, the lessons I did over the year, because I have some clients, they call me just, I got the planning drawings. Can you help me with that? Yes, I can help you. But if you give to us the opportunity to help you to redesign it or to develop the design, because you just got the planning drawings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some clients, they don't know what they want in a way. They just need guidance. And for me, the lessons was not to jump, because I did jump before. Oh, I'm getting this project. And I was jumping to get the project, start the project, and I didn't discuss any details before the clients.
Right.
And along the way, when I start actually and start to discuss details, they had different view about how the things is going to look. And that's a very big lesson for me, not to start the project, to have a clear schedule,
Yeah.
what you're doing, and if we're working directly with the client, what design will be on it. What tiles you're going to have, what kitchen you're going to have, what bathrooms you're going to have, what finishings, if you have corners, so all the details to be there. Because my mistake before was I started right at the beginning, actually, when I started construction, I did start projects without knowing and discussing with the clients what will be the finish on them. And then along the way, when I started build the room, say, oh, but actually in this room, I want to have that curving. I want to have that. Oh, but actually we didn't allocate for that. We didn't discuss for it. So now all the time when I'm starting a project, I'm discussing with the clients
Yeah.
everything from the beginning and to make sure it's everyone clear, because I don't like actually to have any frustration to anyone to be created. I don't like to have conversations like, oh, but Costel, I think, this we discussed it, or it's all in there, but it's not there actually. So for me, it's very important actually to have now all the details agree from begin, before we start the job. And that's for me,
Definitely.
it's a big lesson, not to start a job just to be busy or to start because you need that job without discussing with the clients or if the architect involved. But if the architect involved, then it's a developer drawings, is develop, the schedule of work, everything, because an architect is not going to start with the schedule without the schedule of work and proper drawings and construction drawings.
Mm.
But if sometime with the clients, for me, just they have just planning drawings, they come and they say, "Oh, can you do this one? But can you give me just an indication on the price?" I can't give an indication on the price because I don't know what you're gonna have. And that's for me the lesson: not to start at all, or not to go on more in details if I don't have a proper drawings.
Yeah. So the temptation was to do that before, but
Oh yes, I was that temptation, and I did few mistakes on that. I did jump on the project.
there's potentially a lot of duplication and repeated work.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes. But I know it's part of the job in a way, but it's just trying to avoid it now. Not to do the same mistakes. Because
Mm.
I got one thing and I say to my team as well, you do once a mistake, it's fine. It's normal. Do the second one, learn from it. But the third one is stupidity. So that's I'm saying to all my guys as well, and
Good
everyone
lad.
at work.
Yeah.
So I don't know, with my team, I'm accepting 3 mistakes from them. But the
Okay.
third one actually they're going away.
Third strike.
Yes.
You're out. Okay.
So I'm allowing them to make mistakes.
Yep.
I'm allowing, because that's how they're gonna learn. I'm allowing now them to take like, all right, what's your opinion on that? How are you gonna do it from yourself? Not just wait for me to say to you, do it this way, do it this way. Just that's for me to push them all the time. But don't make mistakes. Continue, or the same mistake continue.
Mm.
Um, in your experience, what's something that often gets overlooked in the early design stages that become a major issue later?
Oh, where do I start?
There are many.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, the way I try and work through the design and the brief is to obviously flush out anything that's gonna become a significant headache later on. I mean, at the moment, people are kind of vacillating between air source heat pumps and gas boilers.
Yeah.
Obviously, that has a big impact. It's not necessarily that easy just to switch between the two later on. I mean, the classic though is just kitchen and bathroom layouts. They can kind of be a kind of nebulous thing that's in flux for quite a long time, but they do need to be frozen and fixed, ideally before construction. But as we know on projects, I'll be doing a kind of a bathroom or a kitchen design during construction. And it's, if it's having an impact and it's moving finishes and first fix, then it's becoming more costly. It's creating delay. So I kind of really encourage them to, go to plumbing merchants, go to kitchen showrooms, and just try and fix in their head, what's the layout, what's the finish, where do you want the sink, hob,
Yep.
fridge? Let's try and pin that down now, at least before tender, and then, we can kind of finesse it during negotiation and the beginning of construction, but at least it's there,
Yeah.
because they're the rooms that cause the most headaches, because they're complicated, and they've got nice finishes in, and they've got nice white goods and appliances, and yeah,
It's just to actually to finalize before the construction starts, is to finalize actually the layout of the rooms,
yeah,
because you can tweak a bit things, but if you don't have the where the plumbing is going away, like you said earlier about the sink, toilets and everything, so you know exactly the location of them. And the same thing on the kitchen. If you change the design of the kitchen after the electrical first fix is done,
yeah,
it's just messing up everything. So that's why it's good in a way to decide all the elevations and all the rooms in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Which I do, I
Yeah,
do that for tender. But the big stuff is, if you're moving primary structure late on,
yeah,
as we both know, we've both done it. But that is a headache, if you're kind of going back to foundations and and moving, drainage,
yeah,
because you don't really want to start unpeeling a project. You do the heavy bits first and work your way into the
yeah.
room, into the finishes, into the FF&E. Um, so yeah, I think that, yeah, that's the big deal. On the big projects there were major structural changes which were quite late, and they were dramatic, and they were very stressful, and they shouldn't have been happening.
Yeah, but sometimes it's part of the project,
Yeah,
It's part of the challenges.
I blame the lift supplier.
Yeah. It's always someone to blame.
Yeah, there's always someone to blame.
All right. How do you feel the planning system in the UK is helping or holding back progress in development and construction?
Oof. Planning. I deal with planning and planners every day. It's a necessary evil. Just don't think the system's fit for purpose, sadly. Um, it's not necessarily the local authority's fault. Um, they're under-resourced, understaffed.
Yeah.
They're struggling, with the caseloads they've got. They're late. Pretty much all the applications I've got that have come through recently have been a number of weeks late, which has an impact.
Yeah.
If the client is a developer or a landowner, or they're on a tight program, you just can't depend on the determination periods that are
Yeah.
quoted. You can't rely on it that you're going to get a decision after 8, 13 weeks or whatever it is. And the costs are going up. So the cost of submitting planning applications now is really quite high.
Yes. It's maybe double than 2 years ago.
It's incredible, yeah. So it's no longer a kind of affordable thing, which is, kind of democratized the process, is accessible for all.
Yeah.
It's actually becoming a more exclusive, for somebody to consider extending, renovating, or building. It's becoming a more exclusive thing. But yeah, in terms of planning, I guess the struggles I have are with conservation and sustainability. The two just don't meet and will never agree. So net zero versus heritage and listed buildings. There is no solution at the moment, and no one's compromising, no one's giving ground.
Yeah.
So I'm just not sure how that's going to pan out, because we've got obviously targets to meet.
Because you need to get, some areas actually, you need to get planning for having the heat pump installed.
Yeah,
Which, some bar actually, most of the bar now, they put that actually to have the planning for it.
yeah.
And if you don't have the right space for it, where you gonna put it?
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
that's, and they
So it's not
pump
been
in the,
thought. It's not been thought out. Yeah, we've got a lot of old, housing stock
yeah,
that could be insulated. There was a drive that sort of petered out to insulate. I think it was called Insulate.
yeah,
Uh, all the old housing stock in the country. Incentivize air source heat pumps. You know, get people away from gas boilers and fossil fuels onto electric heating. And it's kind of flagged. Yeah. And I think it needs to be legislated. It needs to be planning driven. It needs to be joined up. And people who live in, listed conservation
yeah,
areas, listed buildings, need to have an option.
yeah. Because at the moment there's nothing.
But at the moment, there isn't really one.
I think, in my opinion, the departments of planning, they are not communicating between them properly,
No.
and they are not coordinating in between. They just there's no communication much in there.
Well, there is. So no, no. All the responses I get from local planning authorities now, they don't give you phone numbers. You can't contact the case
Yeah,
officer. You can email them, and they might reply. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame,
yeah,
because it used to be you'd have, meaningful feedback or a
yeah,
dialogue at least, but that seems to have gone, and they just don't have time to do it. So yeah, it's a bit of a sorry state, really. But yeah, it needs to improve radically.
yeah. Because we had one together like 32 weeks. together planning?
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, we can't name and shame, but yeah, that I think that was my record actually.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, it took some time.
that was incredible. Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't gonna get that again.
No.
I know you got some hobbies as well. I know you got some hobbies as well.
Yes.
Which one of them you got a serious musical side? How did you first get into the performing, and what instruments do you play?
Ah, well, what did I think I started on violin when I was a kid, but then wanted to become a drummer,
Right?
like a rock drummer. So I've always played drums, and then I do play other instruments, but sort of badly. But yeah, no, become more of a passion recently. I
Yeah,
think it's good to have, I think it's healthy to have an extracurricular interest
yeah.
to the work.
Just
It's
to forget about work on the
Yeah,
same
just
time.
something that's completely different. Although actually there are similarities, which I'll talk about. But yeah, it's just something that's in the moment, and it's kind of intuitive, and it's yeah.
Just to disconnect a bit from day to day.
I think it's good. It helps the mindfulness. It
Yeah, I'm trying that sometime.
helps
Yeah.
the focus. Yeah, definitely.
Do you find that music and architecture overlap in any way?
Uh, I do actually. I think they overlap in lots of ways. So when you're in a band, as I'm in a band,
Yep.
or when you run a band, as I used to run a band, you have to organize people. They've all got busy schedules. They've all got individual skills. So you're trying to eke out kind of the best of their skill, and then you're bringing it all together collaboratively to come up with an output, which is a
Yeah.
concert,
Yeah.
which is a temporary thing, or a building, which is a permanent thing. So I think there are lots of, it's quite analogous, the musical process and the architectural process, construction process.
Yeah. All right. Do you think having a creative outlet outside of the architecture it's help you stay sharp and inspired in your work?
Uh, yeah, I'd say it does. Um, so yeah, creatively playing music or looking at design or trying to emulate your hero architects, I think it's only going to have positive effects on actual work
Yeah.
that you create. Um, I mean, the design work I do, is residential. It's very client led,
Yeah.
but it has to be contextual. It has to sometimes refer to very historic parts of the boroughs I work in, or there'll be some more modern pieces of architecture, or
Yeah.
there'll be not much context. It will just be very poor, shabby urban neighborhoods, and we're trying to improve that. So, yeah, I think the more outlets you have
Yeah.
is going to be healthy and inform your design.
That's good. I know you have a fitness side as well, which you love it, I
Yes.
think. And you are a member of High Rocks community.
Yes.
How did that start, and what do you want to eat?
Um. Well, I think keeping fit again. It's part of the uh, dealing with stress and anxiety of not just work, but running your own business. Um, so I think it's very important to stay healthy. Um, and High Rocks were well. It was a class initially, and it was very welcoming, and we are quite a close community. So I've made some good friends in the group, and we all train together.
That's good.
Then.
How does your fitness discipline, carry over into your work as an architect and as a business owner?
So I think definitely. I mean, it's not every day, but as often as I can, I will do some exercise, and it really just clears the cobwebs. I mean, it helps with focus and energy levels and sleep. So there are just benefits abound, really. And as I get older, it's more important, conditioning and
Yeah,
strength, and as we all know, diet become critical. And it's just to maintain. I think I've always always thought of it as crucial to maintain a healthy lifestyle. You know, healthy mind, healthy body, and the reverse is true.
Yeah, of course. Because you say about healthy mind, healthy body. Do you think a psychical health has a direct impact onto creative thinking and the performance in the business side?
Um, Definitely, yeah. Um, as I say, yeah, I think the healthier you are, you know, the more effective you are going to be at your work.
Yeah,
Because again, you know, workaholism is just going to drain you and exhaust you, and to counter that, you know, the kind of fatigue or the kind of ennui, or yeah, you could just run if you just work yourself into the ground, you will just run out of energy at some point. So I think it's good to have that healthy contrast and flip between the two. So
it's a balance.
I do that as regularly as I can, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to as well, but
Yeah. Well, I've seen you in boxing gloves, but
yeah,
yeah.
I'm trying to start recently because I need to do something because I'm a alcoholic in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm working actually maybe 14, 16 hours a day sometime.
Wow.
I do sleep like 4 hours a night.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm working actually like, every morning at 5 o'clock. I'm
Yeah.
awake and I'm working till about 10 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
That's my day. And even 10 o'clock in the evening, if I know it's an email which I didn't answer or anything like that, which is very important,
Yeah.
then I'm jumping on it.
Gosh.
So that's my days. But I'm trying to fit now in between everything, the health. But yeah, it's just to build for me, just to build a legacy I want to build as well.
Yeah.
Which we get into next now.
Okay.
If you were future actually into the Sunday Times.
Yeah, so the
Uh,
greenhouse which you built.
yeah,
Yeah.
tell us about the experience and what was mean to you that.
Um, well, it was a, you know, it was a great honor and a privilege to be in the Sunday Times. I don't personally read it, but my father-in-law was very pleased because he reads it.
That's good.
No, we were really pleased with it. It was a really nice piece, and the photos look good. I think the best thing about it was we got some really nice photos of the family with everyone smiling, which we've never had before. But no, it was good. I mean, it was, uh, you know, you have to really think about, you know, just communicate the sort of design of it, the appeal of it, and then the photographer came round, and then they published it, and then it was kind of, you know, it's in Sainsbury's on the shelf,
Yeah,
and people are sort of messaging saying, "Wow, I can't believe you're in the Times."
yeah. No, that's very good because actually you've been involved quite a lot when you did your house.
Yeah.
It's become a very nice project, and we'll share maybe some pictures as well
Okay.
onto social media, so
Yeah, yeah.
to go back and maybe some of the the people can see actually what's we deliver there, and actually how is looking all your design because you've been very close to working with us to deliver everything, which is a beautiful house actually.
Yeah, well, thank you. But it was very, I mean, your team smashed it out. You know, the idea with that was it was quick. We had 6 months.
We have to move quick
We had to live in rented accommodation for 6 months, so we only had 6 months, and we did it. You know, it was a lot of project in a very short time. So, yeah, I'm pleased.
I'm pleased to
Um,
enjoying the family now.
yes, no, they're breaking it.
Yeah.
But so how do you keep your team aligned with your quality standards across multiple sites? Because you do have a lot of sites, don't you?
Yeah, at the moment we got 17 sites apart from the development sites. The way I'm keeping all the time is, as you know, maybe, I have a WhatsApp group actually with the clients and architects and
Yeah.
their office. As you know, we're working together on projects.
So 17 WhatsApp groups.
It's not just 17 on that, but I got 17 WhatsApp groups with my internal team, which is mean the working foreman on site, the site manager, the project manager, myself, and the office.
Oh my gosh.
So even now, I'm gonna be 2 hours with clients to say, or we're recording this. When I'm leaving, I'm gonna spend time, say half an hour, wherever, just go through everything, and I'm just need to know where everything was happening on. So on those 17 jobs,
Yeah.
if any of the clients or architects call me, I know what's happening because I'm scanning everything and memorizing everything what's happening. And what I do as well is I got a report every week, On every Saturday morning, I get reports what's happening to each site, what's been done, how it been done, and then what's going to happen the following week.
Wow.
And the quality is just, I got the quality control, which is a guy's been working with me, like John.
Yeah.
He's been with me for 15 years now, which they know exactly the expectation. They know what we want to deliver to the clients.
Mm-hmm.
And we are very particular on the qualities, all on the finishings, as you can see, and actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, it's to keep the communication between my team, between the clients, and to all the party involved. If the communication is there, then we can deliver what has been designed to be delivered and what the clients expect. And to the standards is just to keep actually by checking my team. And I have very good team actually onto that and to check everything. And I still, even if I'm doing and running multiple businesses, to say I'm still involved a lot into the construction side,
Mm-hmm.
because I want not to compromise anything on the quality, because that's what make me to grow. That's what make me to people to recommend me
Yeah.
to other people. So to other clients, to it's just for me, quality is very important. And all the time when I'm taking new people on, I'm not taking so many people on. For me, I'm taking, if it is 10 people to say, from that to 10 people, maybe 3, 4 will be left with me. Those 3, 4 people, I will give to them like about 6 months period to train them to deliver the quality of the work we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very big, patience with them, so they can get used to the quality and the standard of delivering, because sometimes they come from another company which have different, culture, different style of delivering the projects, and it's coming to us. And for us, it's taking time to keep them accountable for every job they're doing,
Yeah.
and to deliver to the standard, and to take time to do it, not just do it so it's done, because then we're going to go back, which we don't want to go back, because it's
No.
costing more money. It's not about the money, it's about the credibility on the client to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we do something wrong and is not the expected quality and expected standard, then I'm gonna feel guilty, and I'm not gonna sleep that 4 hours a night. I will sleep 0 hours, because my mind is gonna be there. Why they did make that mistake?
Yeah.
And for me, it's gonna be, or the client is not gonna be happy now. And I'm very particular actually for the clients to be happy, satisfied on the end, because that's what's gonna bring another jobs. And we've been working the last 10 years just from recommendation actually.
Wow.
We didn't chase any people for jobs or anything. It's
Yeah.
just all from recommendation, and that because we work for just the quality and just to look after the clients for long run. And I'm saying to all my clients, I'm not just for now. I'm for life. If you want me to be for life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's an offer. Yep.
yeah. So that's for me. How I'm keeping my team in a way. So I'm just keeping communication with them and checking all the time and getting those reports done all the time.
Mm.
So I can be informed all the time of what's happening. And maybe it's me, like a freak of control to say, but I want to know because it's my company. And all the time I'm saying, if everyone is going to leave me tomorrow, I still have to deliver the project. So I need to know what's happening on the project.
Yeah. And is that what motivates you to keep pushing forward then?
Oh yes, all the time. Oh yes, all the time. It's keep more, to move forward. It's actually, every job is got its own challenges. Yeah. Even the client is got different taste, different, expectation. Then it's a challenge because you have to make that client happy. And for me, the motivation to push forward, it's I want to deliver more. I want to I want to make a company which people can talk about it. And I want to build a best construction company in London and say, yeah, go to see our building because they're going to deliver the standard. So that's for me is pushing me forward all the time. And it's a motivation for me every day to go say, all right, I need to deliver that. And I need to deliver better than anyone else. And that's a motivation for me every day to do more.
Yep.
And I want my family to be proud. I want people I work to be proud. And it's just my team is all to be say, oh yeah, we delivered this. Yes, it was challenges, but we delivered it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. It's
Okay.
it's helped me to move forward all the time into this. And that's why I was going, because for me it was like this. It was the construction side. And maybe I did told you before or not. When I started actually from just doing small renovations, just doing kitchen, bathrooms, inside the houses, gardens, and all that. But then when I didn't have any more challenges, which was in 2012, I decided I need to start to do extensions now. So I started to do the extensions. When I didn't have any challenges again, I started to do the lofts. So I did the whole thing, house, garden, everything. But then 2015, I say, oh, I don't have any more challenges anymore. So I started to do new builds
Right.
because to learn everything about new builds. Because if I do, I can go to leadership from books, but if I don't do it on site, it's not like you learn it, but you learn the theory. But I want to know to do it. So that, and then 2018, I go into developments because wasn't again any more challenges. And on developments, there are another challenges. And then I go into investments, which is another challenges. Then I go into the joinery side, which is another challenges, and to the design side and all those sides. So now I want actually to launch next year in a way, which is CR maintenance, because I got many clients which they want us to maintain,
Okay. Yep.
which is going to be soon. So for me, all the time I want to grow more up. I want to have more challenges because those challenges going to create me to be a better person and to be me to have more knowledge about everything.
Yeah. But
And I love construction.
every facet of the construction industry then.
Yes, yes. I got in my mind, CR scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why not? Demolition.
yeah, even demolition. Yeah, but
Big
CR
money in
can take the
demolition.
demolition. So yeah, but I love it, and every day I want to do more, and I just it's never enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people, even my family sometimes ask, oh, but when it's enough for you, it's never enough for me.
Never going to be enough. Okay.
No, because I just want to push myself.
Yeah.
And when I get yes, it's every day is stressful.
Yeah.
But I never show my stress.
Yeah.
When I'm going to clients, they say, oh, you feel so relaxed, you look so relaxed. But inside me, it's a fire. So that's why I want to, I want to put, because if I put myself under pressure, I'm building my better character on it. I'm building, my person to be better. Because I know I'm putting myself to the stress. Why I'm putting myself to the stress? And that's a motivation for me to push forward.
Yeah.
And all the time I'm acting like, all right, I don't know that, but I need to find out how I'm going to find it out. And I got, guys on site as well. They call me and say, oh, Costel, we have this problem. No, tell me the solution. Don't tell me the problem because everyone can see the problem. Just think about the solution.
Yeah.
And they come back and say, yeah, you think you are right. Why didn't you think just the problem?
Mm.
So now most of my guys, which they work with me for a long time, when they call me, they don't say the solution, the problem. They say, this is the solution. Are you okay with that?
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
They
what
say,
you
"Well,
went. Yeah.
proceed with that." So it's just not to think about it. Sometimes I'm too harsh on them. I'm too, I'm just maybe, I'm too strong on them sometimes and just
Right.
pushing them too much,
Demanding.
too demanding sometimes. Yeah. But it's for their own goods because I'm saying to all my guys, yeah, if you work with me now for however many you're going to work with me, yes, you work with me a period. But if you go into someone else to work on another company, then you're going to, I'm going to be proud because you got all this knowledge and you know what you're worth in a way.
Mm.
So all the time when I'm building the teams and I'm building guys around me, I'm building them with a view. If they're going to go to work for someone else or they're going to open a business, which I help few of them, I know I build their strong characters
Mhm.
and I know I build them to do a good job.
Yeah.
Not just to go there, do the job, take the money and go. And because it's not, I'm saying to all of them, don't think about the money first. Just think what you can do, what you can deliver. Because for me, I say never the money motivated, because if money was to motivate me, I didn't get where I am today. And I'm saying to all of them, don't think about the money. Money will come. If you have a reputation, if you build a name, if you build your knowledge, you know what you can deliver, you will get paid for your knowledge. But I'm just trying to build teams all the time based on that.
Yeah. These are valuable lessons.
This is just me actually.
You're training leaders.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just what is the most exciting part of the project for each, the design, the build, the handover?
I think the build, actually. I think that the novelty never wears off of seeing, I mean, well, if it's particularly adventurous or special design,
Yeah.
and seeing it actually happening one to one, there's no replacing that. That's really satisfying.
Yeah, that's yeah.
If things are really, walls and floors are appearing hopefully in the right place.
Yeah.
The structure's going in and you get a sense of the scale of it, and it's, because it's coming from a A3, A1 drawing,
Yeah.
and then it's happening.
So the excitement is actually
Definitely.
when
Yeah, yeah.
it's coming actually to life, what you've been spending time to put on the drawings
Yeah.
and what you're thinking to deliver to the clients.
Seeing it realized,
Yes.
in bricks and mortar and steel and concrete is there's no getting away from that. That's always pleasing.
That's the excitement bit, yeah.
But yeah, I guess the most satisfying bit though is the handover. If the
Yeah.
client says, "I'm really happy. I'm glad I did this.
That's the biggest
Thank you, architect contractor, for holding my hand through this process."
yeah, because that's the bit on when you get a snagging list, yes, you go through the snagging list, but if you see the client actually happy on the end
Yeah,
and saying, yeah, thank you very much, you did a great job, guys, that's the bigger satisfaction and the big
yeah,
excitement in a
definitely.
way.
Yeah, yeah,
Because we have many clients actually, and not many, but we have some of the clients which they even don't say anything, not even thank you
yeah. Sometimes.
to the end.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's not for us because we are used to it,
yeah,
but it's just for the guys. It's just because they've been working hard in there to deliver the project.
yeah.
They don't say thank you.
No.
It's just it's just not that I'm saying thank you for them. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the time when I'm finish a project because we got pictures the whole project,
yeah.
and on the end when we have videos and pictures for all the projects like we finish it, I'm saying thank you to all my team which we've been working on the project.
Good.
But it's just
No, it's important.
the handover is very important actually
There's
to
got to be a sense of accomplishment.
yeah, because it's just another project delivered
Yeah,
and the clients are happy.
yeah.
And on the projects we find all the time actually um how to say it's just with the clients when actually it's just we hitting sometime like issues in the jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just how you pass them,
Yeah,
because it's frustrating sometimes for the clients because oh but I wanted that to be that way but actually it's not possible. So that's how you get out of that and how the client will be seeing that on the end as a satisfaction in a way because it's been over, or how you're seeing as well. So
yeah,
it's just how the clients will see if do it, because there are challenges all the time, like I said earlier,
yeah.
on the project. It's like you have to design the bathroom fully
I mean, normally they're
of the project.
normally they're forgotten by the end though, but
Yeah. But
it's
it's
part
just
part of the journey.
yeah, but we keep in mind, all right. It's nice to have it in our mind anyway.
Yeah.
Um, how do you approach these agreements of or different ideas on the project without letting it affect the outcome?
Okay. Is that cli
Between all the parties in a way.
between each
Take,
party? Yeah.
say if you take it between you and the client, because I'm sure you're gonna have these agreements on the beginning to say when you're designing.
Yes. I mean, I usually will defer to the client unless it's just completely impractical or really, really poor taste. No. Uh, I mean, I'll only put my foot down if it's a matter of principle. No. No, I will defer to them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but do you think if you defer to them, sometimes you defer to the clients,
Yeah.
but actually they can not having the right decision on it,
Well, what I'll
guide them anyway.
yeah, no, I'll try and persuade them definitely. So if I'll produce an image and say, and it can be quite a persuasive image.
Yeah,
It will show, there'll be a render or a model or a drawing or something, and it'll say, well, it could be this way.
yeah. Because
And
I know you're doing very good CGI anyway.
there's some decent CGI, thank you. And yeah, sometimes that'll be enough, and they'll go, oh no, you're right. It should be a huge, enormous roof light or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Or take the back of the house off, or
yeah.
there'll be some kind of dramatic gesture, and I'll just think this is the right solution, and then but I'll try and kind of persuade them, I guess, using my soft power. It
Because
doesn't always work though.
it's happened to you maybe. I don't know if it's happened on projects we work together, but on a other project, did you have like these agreements because the client has these agreements with the contractor and it has to be in between them? And
Yes, yeah. So sometimes I will have to come in and kind of mediate, um, or yeah, or for whatever reason there are client. Yes, I think sometimes if the line of communication gets confused, that can cause issues.
Yeah,
So if the client's going direct to the contractor saying change X, Y, and Z, and then
not communicating to you.
not communicating
Like,
to me, and the contractor doesn't want the changes to just be kind of informal and on the side. They want them to be actually contractual changes
yeah,
that are tracked and coordinated. Yeah. I think, yeah, definitely that line of that flow of communication sometimes can get a bit protracted, and cause aggravation, but usually we've overcome that.
yeah. Because if you're involved in the project, it would be good actually. Or not, this is not advice actually for the clients.
Yeah.
If you got an architect involved,
Use the architect.
use the
Okay,
architect
yeah.
for all the work, all the communication. Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to change something, just call the architect or just send an email.
absolutely.
Say I want to change this, so he can instruct the contractor.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometime if he's gonna be, from my point, and it happened to me sometime, if the client is coming to me directly or to my team, and he's going to say, "Oh, but I want to change this and this," no one know about it.
Yeah.
When we come to site, when you come, but who would say to you to change this one? But I did it, and actually it's impacting something else
Yeah.
because the client see from their point actually how they want it to look.
I mean, it is, it's a lot more admin, but then you get the audit trail and it is just clearer. I think it
Clear because it's
avoids
recorded as well.
exactly, it's recorded, it just avoids confusion. And it could get confusing, especially if you've got guys on site and they're being told one thing and it's not been checked,
And everyone is getting frustrated after.
and then everyone gets
Yeah.
frustrated. So yeah, yeah. I mean, there've been no major no major disagreements, but yeah, definitely design ideas. I'll kind of pitch my best ones at the start, and some of them will stick and some of them won't. Usually, there'll be some cost decisions. Not always cost though, to be honest. It will just be personal taste.
Yeah,
Some clients are very singular. They know exactly what they want, and it isn't what I'm suggesting. So
it's easy. When the clients know what they want, it's easy. But when you have I had some recently. I had some clients which they don't know what they want in a way,
that's also difficult. Yeah.
and it's very difficult because even on that project, we have the architect
Yeah.
working on it, but the architect provided all the drawings and everything. The client didn't look properly at the drawings.
Ah,
We start to produce everything. They said, "But I don't want it that way."
that's
Actually, the
yeah.
architect send it for approval, like you usually do all the time.
Yeah.
Send it for approval. Is being recorded as a reply back. Yes, I'm happy with it.
Ah,
But then the client didn't look at details of all the drawings,
right.
and that's just gonna create like frustration to everyone. Because for me, I'm very flexible, yeah.
Yeah.
But my team, when they did the work
Yeah.
to undo it now or change it, it's just frustrating for them because they put like a lot of, soul in there. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
they just did it exactly as per the drawings, and now when they come to change it, it's just, oh, we have to change it now.
Yeah. No, the
And
the definitely the design or sign off approval process has to be quite kind of closely regulated.
yeah,
Otherwise, there is a risk that things will change drastically later on, which no one's going to be happy with.
no. What's a project we love to do together next?
Uh, well, I think as you're doing bigger things now,
Yeah.
I'm thinking towers, city blocks.
That's my vision. You know my vision.
This is your vision?
Yeah, to build a tower.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So my next vision, everybody, all the time I want to take it step by step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we take, a few houses, then a
Yeah.
block, then the tower. Because that's my vision to build a tower, and I know I want to get there.
I think you can do it. Well, I think they're quite straightforward because there's a lot of repetition.
It's gonna be CR tower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be there.
Like Trump. Yeah. But no, it's CR tower.
Kilometer tall.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop till I'm gonna see a tower built
Wow. Okay.
by CR. So that's my vision. But I'm all the time I like to take step by step. I
Yeah.
never want to rush anything. And I don't want to jump 3 steps because I know I'm gonna fall back 5 steps after.
Right. Okay.
So for me, it's just to take it step by step. But I know it's gonna take another maybe 4 or 5 years
Okay.
to get there, but we'll get there because you need to learn everything
Yeah.
on all the steps, regulation, everything on that side.
Well, there's
But
plenty to learn. What's the tallest building you've done so far?
the tallest one done so far, it was 5 apartments actually. It was 3 floor. Yeah, 3 floor.
Okay.
A block of flats, a 3 floor.
So no HRBs yet.
No, no. But we did. We had one challenge one actually. It was an old bank, and we had under the ground the safe.
Oh, wow.
The walls, it'd been like 600 width,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
poor concrete. And the client didn't say to us it was a safe there.
Ah,
When he started to know, because we had to create the basement to extend the basement where was the safe in the vaults,
yeah.
and then we had to go up. We built there 4 apartments actually. And we had to go ground, first floor, ground, no, basement, ground floor, first floor, and the second floor. But we didn't know, and that was a challenging one because we spent like about 2 weeks to break that concrete,
I believe that.
and we get actually, and actually one of the rooms we didn't break it because that was the main vault. As all it was 3 rooms in one, so it was 3 lays of walls in there, and the middle one we created a bathroom on it. We didn't take it; we just had to change the design completely
Really.
and just incorporate that to be a bathroom because we couldn't do it. It just was too hard concrete.
I mean, they're impenetrable.
It's crazy how it was there. And I never, that was on the jobs which actually we had a bit of challenge on that one.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely job on the end, and I loved that job, and I did actually show it to many clients that one.
Oh,
But yeah, it's a wonderful job anyway. Oh yes, thank you very much for coming today.
thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, and it's many lessons to be learned. And we'll wait on the next one. Actually, we're gonna share actually quite a lot into our social media and everything actually on the projects we're gonna do together. And if it's any future clients which they want your services actually from architects, um, for managing their projects, they will share actually onto the link all your details.
Yeah.
But they can find you actually on Instagram. They can find you actually on your website,
Yep.
which will share everything on here.
Thank you.
Um, but hopefully, it's going to be actually some new clients coming from it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because you're doing a great job actually. And the CGI, like I said earlier, not many architects they do the CGI you're doing,
Right.
and you're doing a great CGI for the clients to visualize how their house is going to look.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you very much
Oh, thank you.
for coming, and thank you for sharing actually all the information about the architecture and your personal as well.
Mhm.
So the audience know you, know you who you are and what you can deliver, which I know you deliver the best service actually. Um, I'll say to everyone, thank you for watching us. This was a great episode with Mr. Jeremy, which is covering actually the whole London is covering. If you want extension, loft, full renovation, even conservation, all North London, South London, so it's all London area is covering, and it's the best, and it's very communicative, and it's fast actually on delivering all the drawings, and to move forward. Yes, with the planning, it's what it's in his control actually, because he can't control the planning officers. But yeah, so if you keep watching our episodes, the past one as well, which is the same experience about construction, everything. And I will say thank you to all of you watching us. Please keep us, in watching our social media, where you're gonna find actually Mr. Jeremy actually details as well, and you can get in contact with him for any projects you may want to do. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching us.